Here you see him walking into the Hertfordshire hotel, and when asked by security staff and then police to leave, he refuses over the course of a 30-minute negotiation.
Okay. Please don't come back into the site.
Listen, I'll do what I want to do.
Come back into the site, sir, then I'll arrest you to prevent a breach of the peace.
Go on then, do it then. I can walk over there in a minute.
Come back in the site.
Go on. I'll be walking straight through there in a minute. And there's not a call you can do about it.
There is. I really don't want to get to this stage.
No,
Excuse me. He agreed to talk to us at one of the weekly Epping protests, where I asked him about the flyer.
It's an organisation that many people would consider to be white supremacist. Do you think there's a danger in sort of promoting or allowing someone to promote that material on your stream, you know, just like that?
Now, there is a serious campaign going on by the mainstream media to destroy our heroes of the citizen journalism space. And these people have done the most incredible job, especially over the past few months, when the mainstream media, when regime journalists have let us down at every turn. Especially someone like Ay Audits, a guest on today's show for the first time, who has been absolutely unrepentant over the past few months in terms of exposing the scam that's going on at the migrant hotels, among many other scandals, which, let's be honest, is just completely ignored by the regime media and the mainstream media. And as you know, I absolutely love these guys. I think these guys are incredible. I've worked in newsrooms for 20 years in the mainstream media, but I don't give a damn if you have a journalistic qualification or not, because what these independent journalists are doing is bold and brave and totally game-changing in terms of the national conversation, because for the first time we can see with our own eyes what's going on. And I knew that it would make some of the stars like Ay Audits a target. Sure enough, that happened with Channel 4 News launching a vile hit piece against him, which he discussed with Tommy Robinson outside court last week. Watch.
And what did Channel 4, the fake news, try to do to you a few weeks ago?
They tried to set me up, really, to be honest with you, but I think because...
Did it do you any damage, or did it get you more followers? What did it do?
It made me lose a few pounds. So I was anxious during the day, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know the
because
feeling.
I'm sitting there... I wish.
I know the feeling.
But I was anxious for my family and stuff, because you don't know what they're going to say.
Yeah.
And over the time, you see what's happened to people like Tommy, to other people.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And you sit there and you think, like, oh, crikey, like...
Tell people what you do. Where and how you started doing it.
So, about 2 years ago, I was just in the normal 9-to-5 life, getting up, working, home, shower, dinner. Not really interested in politics and stuff, do you know? Like, just carried on going on with normal life. And then I wasn't interested in social media, I still ain't. And one of my friends was showing me TikTok, and I said, nah, they won't do that. This is bollocks, do you know what I mean? Like, sorry for my language, but they're just telling lies. Our government wouldn't do this to us. And I was like, I want to go and find out myself. And that's what I've done.
And he did. And of course, he has amassed a massive following of millions and millions on YouTube. And guess who hates that? Guess who's furious about that? Guess who wants to shut him down and others like him? The mainstream media. Because they are dying on their ass. Their YouTube numbers are in the hundreds or the thousands, not the hundreds of thousands, because no one trusts the bullshit that they spout on a daily basis. So what do? When they want to destroy someone, when they want to cancel someone, they launch a fake investigation. And that's exactly what Channel 4 News did, as we just heard then in the discussion with Tommy Robinson on Ay Audits. Now, luckily, this was completely spurious, and we will get his response in just one moment. But first, here is some of Channel 4 News' corrupt reporting.
He's had nearly 30 million views now, and this, his most viewed live stream outside the Bell Hotel in Epping, has more than 800,000 views. He shows the crowd recognising a woman they say is a counter-protester. He narrates to his audience.
Look how many police officers they've actually got around one person. Missiles coming in again. Police officers cut in the face.
Later, he asks,
will you be arrested once you get her out of here?
Earlier in the feed, next to the leader of an organisation that describes itself as a national socialist movement to preserve the white race, he advertises, when asked, a flyer.
Yeah, OK, no problem, mate.
Anybody who wants to look it up, go on Twitter.
There you go, guys.
Excuse me.
He agreed to talk to us at one of the weekly Epping protests, where I asked him about the flyer.
It's an organisation that many people would consider to be white supremacist. Do you think there's a danger in sort of promoting or allowing someone to promote that material on your stream, you know, just like that?
I'm going to be totally honest with you, yeah. It is dangerous, yeah.
Do you regret it?
Well, I don't even know I've done it, so I can't quite say if I regret something or what, but if someone's come up to me and they've given me a, what did you say it was, white supremacist?
It said preserve the white race on it.
White race.
Yeah.
And I've flashed it. It's only, do you know what I mean? There's so many people come to these things with...
Is it the kind of organisation you would agree with?
Well, definitely not, you know, definitely not.
Barnes is also what's called an auditor, someone who approaches or enters premises filming often confrontational interactions with staff. Here you see him walking into the Hertfordshire hotel, and when asked by security staff and then police to leave, he refuses over the course of a 30-minute negotiation.
Okay. Please don't come back into the site.
Listen, I'll do what I want to do.
Come back into the site, sir, then I'll arrest you to prevent a breach of the peace.
Go on then, do it then. I can walk over there in a minute.
Come back in the site.
Go on. I'll be walking straight through there in a minute. And there's not a call you can do about it.
There is. I really don't want to get to this stage.
No, ain't.
They eventually arrest him. Arrests are among his most popular videos.
What do you mean I'm under arrest?
His views per month have risen from 1 million in May to more than 10 million by August, a tenfold increase.
And Ay Audits, that who is on the Superstar panel today, alongside Charlie Downs of Restore Britain, that is why they hate you. Right? That is why they hate you. As Scarpets has just said in the live chat, Channel 4 News is despicable because actually what they want to do is destroy your livelihood. I mean, they, after that investigation, tried to get you demonetized on YouTube, approached all of the advertisers that were connected to your videos. And it's like, what are they so scared of? But we know what they're so scared of. People like you, citizen journalists like you, are putting them out of business, right? If you're enjoying what we're doing here on Outspoken, please consider joining our thriving community over on Substack, www.outspoken.live. You can sign up completely for free, but Substack is so important to me. It is a free speech platform. It protects me from big tech cancellation. Plus, you get to communicate directly with me. Head on over www.outspoken.live, enter your email address and sign up today.
Yeah, I think, you know what, Dan, first and foremost, it's not my livelihood. Yeah. Highlighting what I'm highlighting it's not for financial gain. It's not my job. Obviously, I do earn money out of it now, but it's not about that. It's about showing people exactly what's going on, whether it's at these hotels or whether it's at the protests. That was my focus. It was just about showing the people, you know, showing the people the truth as best as I could, really, to be honest with you.
Absolutely. But Charlie Downs, you can absolutely see that the mainstream media are terrified, aren't they? Because that was like the ultimate Channel 4 hit piece. Because it wasn't just reporting on this phenomenon and saying, well, isn't this fascinating that there are these citizen journalists that are getting more views, right, than us in the mainstream media. That's not what it was about, Charlie. They wanted YouTube to actually remove Ay Audits.
Yeah, that was really slimy, actually, in their hit piece. I watched it before we came on. The way that they named like Boots and EasyJet and others whose adverts appear, as they do before all monetized videos on YouTube. Yeah, I think it's just really gross that this is an accepted thing. I mean, I've had hit pieces running against me. I mean, it hasn't been Channel 4, but Hope Not Hate have authored multiple articles on me. And it's a really horrible thing. Like, it's not fun. I agree. I'm sorry, AY Audits. I don't know your real name. I feel a bit weird calling you AY Audits. But
well, Channel 4,
really,
I was going to ask you about the AY Audits because Channel 4 revealed it. They almost doxed you, right? But do you want your real name out there, or do you prefer to be known as AY Audits?
You see, at the beginning, like, it all started, Dan, from the police. So the police was mentioning my name on live streams. They would start calling me by my name to get my name out there. When I used to pull them up about it, they used to say, well, we're not broadcasting it, you're broadcasting it, which was a fair point, I suppose, because I was the one live streaming. But then they started asking me if I still lived at so-and-so address. And this wasn't just Essex Police. This was also the Metropolitan Police. So then
So they were doxing you live on air, knowing that you were broadcasting?
Knowing that I'm live. And then when, like, I'm thinking about it at the time, and even, like, after, it's blatantly obvious. Essex Police and the Met Police, they conspired together to do that because it was two separate police forces acting in the same way, but at different times. And it just got to the stage where my name was going to come out. They was trying everything they could to try and smear me in any way they could, really, to be honest with you. And the last opportunity, well, say the last opportunity, you never know what's around the corner, but it was the leaflet, obviously, at the protest. And that's what they thought they would come for. And
yeah, I mean, Charlie, it's route one mainstream media trying to bring someone down. We've seen it time and again, but I don't think they're going to succeed this time.
They're absolutely terrified of independent journalists because, as we've said already on the show today, the mainstream media as it exists today is simply an arm of the state. And it's more and more people are realizing that this is the case. And I'm heartened, actually, by how many people are kind of recognizing them for what they are. And we know now that the Home Office, for example, does actually keep dossiers on independent journalists. Like my very good friend and colleague, Lewis Brackpool, recently sent an FOI request on behalf of Restore Britain for an investigation that we're doing, and was denied the data that he requested because of his personal social media activity. And the Home Office feared that providing him and us, Restore Britain, with that data would basically cause problems for them. So we know that the government is keeping files on people, likely, frankly, has a file on all three of us on the show today, being real about this, which is quite a scary thought. We know that this is happening. And it's at that point when you realize that this is the kind of state that we live under, that you realize that we're living in some kind of like Soviet style, authoritarian state. Like this is the world we're in now. And we have to be real about that.
We do. And the judge didn't want Ezra Levant in the Tommy Robinson court case last week to be able to live tweet. But he was absolutely happy with journalists from the regime media to live tweet, which tells you all you need to know. Look, AY Audits, I want to look at a couple of your greatest hits. This was the astonishing moment where you actually were allowed in to an HMO by one of the residents there. I mean, in the end, they called security on you. I'm fascinated to know what happened afterwards. But this was so eye-opening, and so many people are angry because we're actually seeing the luxury that these illegals arriving on boats are being able to live in on our dime. So I'll get your reaction after this, but I just want to play this moment, this absolutely fascinating moment when you actually managed to get inside. But first, let's be honest, here in Britain, what passes for journalism today is little more than politically charged activism with a headline slapped on top. Truth gets buried under layers of spin, agenda, and algorithm-driven narratives. That's why I turn to Ground News. It cuts straight through the noise and shows you what actually is happening. Ground News brings together headlines from over 50,000 sources across the globe, but what really makes it powerful is the transparency. You don't just see the stories, you see the political bias behind every source, like the ownership ties, the coverage breakdown across the spectrum. It's brilliant. Even the Nobel Peace Centre praised it as an excellent way to stay informed, avoid echo chambers, and expand your worldview. And my favourite feature is its blind spot feed, because it shows you which stories are trending on one side of the aisle but barely mentioned on the other. It's the clearest way to see media bias in action. So here's an example of a story barely gaining any traction on the right. In an interview with The Times, Nigel Farage said he will not cut taxes until spending is reduced, abandoning his £90 billion pledge. He's expected to deliver a major speech next month promising £350 billion in cuts to public services and the civic service. And here's one the left is completely ignoring. You have to see it for yourself. Starmer has emphasised the need for the UK to assist in monitoring the ceasefire as questions remain about the future in Gaza. Seeing every side of the news like this is exactly why Ground News exists, and right now you can get 40% off the Vantage plan, which gives you unlimited access to all the features I personally use for less than a cup of coffee. Just visit ground.news/outspoken, click the link in the description, or scan the QR code. Over 1 million people have downloaded Ground News and use it to stay informed. Join them and subscribe today at ground.news/outspoken. But now, back to the show.
So this is the new apartment block, guys. This gentleman's kindly offered to show me his room.
Sure.
Yeah, no problem, thank you. I appreciate it. So nice clean complex. Do they have cleaners come round and clean?
Yeah, they clean every week.
They clean every week?
Every week they clean.
They clean in the rooms?
They clean all the rooms.
Yeah, oh brilliant. Change bedding?
They clean the kitchen.
Kitchen?
The living room.
They got kitchen in there?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
They clean the kitchen, they clean the rooms, and they clean the corridor.
Okay.
Yes.
What about the clothes?
Oh.
They clean the clothes?
I'm stressed. I don't know. What?
They clean the clothes or anything?
There's a washing machine.
There's a washing machine inside? They give all the washing machine?
Pardon?
Oh, this is nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hello, my friend.
You alright, buddy? This is good, isn't it? Heating is on full blast.
Oh, this is nice, right?
Lovely. It's not a bad little spot. And you get washing machine and cooker?
Yeah, sure.
Microwave? He's from Kuwait?
I am from Kuwait and Turkey.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
It's very hot in here though, it's very warm.
Very warm, my friend.
Yeah.
Where's the toilet?
There's two toilets.
Two toilets?
Yeah, my friend's toilet is here.
Oh, what, you share this with somebody?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, and what is he like? Is he okay?
Yeah, he sure is.
Yeah?
Okay, yeah. I choose good people.
Yeah, you choose good people, yeah?
Do you get to choose then who you
Not
stay in
bad
a
little
room?
spot.
I used to recommend to make
Right.
people.
Thank you, sir.
I want good people. Yeah, sure, sir.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I mean, Ay Audits, it's like a thing of beauty, that video, because literally the moment you leave, there's like, was that a security guard or police had actually run up to get you?
Yeah, so that was one of the security guards. So previously to that, so the guy that actually was with me there was a guy called Bear Britain Audits. He's actually the guy, Dan, that filmed the police officer calling Rupert Lowe a convicted racist.
Oh, no way.
That's the same guy. That's Bear Britain Audits, which was with me when we went to the Chelmsford HMO. So he lives up north, but on the odd occasion, we will join together as citizens. If there's something to expose, then sometimes we will go together, you know, like, it shows more of it, doesn't it? The more of you that are there, obviously don't want too many, but yeah, so previous to that, I followed the coach from the processing centre in Britannia, Canary Wharf, and I knew the guys had only been there for 2 days, and we followed it anyway to Chelmsford, amongst other places that evening. And I couldn't quite believe what I see with this complex of flats. And I come back home afterwards and done a little bit of research. Well, actually, to tell the truth, the coach actually went back to the hotel, to the processing centre, with the rest of the migrants on, because they didn't want us to know where it was going.
No way.
He was following it, and they didn't want us to see.
And so with him moving them from the Britannia to the HMOs.
Yeah, so they was moved. So first of all, we went to, the coach had 22 people on.
Yeah.
I counted them on. We dropped 2 off at Forest Drive, 227 Romford Road. That's in Forest Gate in London, East London. So we dropped 2 off there to a HMO, or suspected HMO, should I say, at the time. And then we followed it to Chelmsford, and another 2 got off at Chelmsford. So that left 16 still on the coach. But after the Chelmsford one, it went back to the Britannia, back to the processing centre. I think, but obviously it's only speculation, but they was going somewhere else after, obviously, because you had another 16 people on the coach. And they didn't want us to know where they was going. So they thought, right, we're going to have to take them back to the processing centre. They'd already realised that we had found these flats. And once we had found the flats, they kind of knew we was there then. And the next day, or on the Monday, that's when we decided to go back there, get in the flats, like into the communal areas, which was pretty easy. And then spoke to this guy, and he invited us into his room to have a little look around.
Yeah, and the guy was from Turkey. I mean, astonishing. And I mean, in the full video, which you can see on your YouTube page, and I really do recommend people check it out. I mean, it's infuriating, right? Because you show how there's the sign up, which says, oh, if you want a doctor's appointment, just scan this QR code. It's like they are getting more privileges than what we are. I also wanted to just ask you about this other video, which you got recently, when you challenged directly Daniel Sandford of the BBC, the British Bashing Corporation, as I call it, in Epping. This was a really fascinating exchange. Watch this.
Yourself. I've been to enough of them. Make up your own mind. And I guarantee you, a lot more than what you think.
Either you work for the government or you're just totally naive.
Well, neither of that.
Well, listen, you work for the government because you work for the BBC.
Well, we work for the
Oh, you don't work for us.
Your propaganda.
Your propaganda.
You work for the BBC, you know that as well.
See all them people bibbing, every single person bibbing, they're on our side.
All we ask for you...
They're on our side.
All we ask you...
You've lost, mate.
Cheap being here.
You know what I mean? And just show it.
No one believes you spin anymore.
They should not be going into brand new apartments.
YouTube. Myself. Yeah. Oh, where is my channel? UK.
It's all right, I followed this.
I've never seen any... Wael just told me, he said you're here.
YouTube, yeah.
He's coming, hopefully.
Mate, I've got the evidence.
24th November.
Look at your ratings up against an independent journalist. You're losing.
Now, that was before, right, he had that confrontation with Tommy Robinson outside court. But what was your sense of why he was there but not actually properly covering the story for the BBC?
So I'd met this guy before, actually. It was the night that Sarah White was actually arrested at Epping at the Civic Centre, which... I'm a little bit suspicious of anyway, Dan, because he wasn't there before that, and that was the second time he's actually ever been there. But I think, as like what Tommy was saying, and like what many people have been saying over the time, these people's stories are just, they're wrote already. They're just there to get a couple of pictures, couple of stuff for their little headlines, and then they're on their way. But they're not to be trusted, because I'm openly showing them stuff like this that's on the screen. And I'm sorry, like, the camera doesn't lie. Now, like what we're watching is fact. You know,
100%.
like you've got 98.
And what do they have to hide? You know, at the end of the day, right, we're paying for this. We're paying for all of this. Surely we have a right to know what we are paying for, but they don't want us to know because they know that the public don't want this, and they know that the anger, I mean, that's the QR code I was speaking about.
The question should be as well, like, once the migrants are finished with this building, because the government have purchased it for, well, we will never know the true figure, but you're looking at about between 45 to 50 million quid that they've purchased this office block for and converted it into flats. But who's going to get it afterwards? What's the end game here? You know, like it's scary thinking about it, to be honest with you.
Well, it's tragic because I think, at least under this Labour government, they don't intend for us ever to get hold of it. I think they intend for this forever to continue to house invaders into our country, which is just so shocking. But look, that's why your work is so important. Absolutely loving what you're doing. AY Audits. You can find AY Audits, by the way, on YouTube under the Hotel Investigator. You've got 130,000 subscribers now and doing God's work. So congratulations on all of your success.
Well, the black's that way, actually, should I say?
Yes. There it is. There it is. Bloody hell. Amazing. It's an incredible story. It is an incredible story, but people like you are increasingly important in this independent media revolution. So please do come back to Outspoken soon. That is AY Audits. And we'll reveal today, and thank you to Charlie Downs, of course, as well, campaigns director at Restore Britain. We will reveal today's greatest Britain and Union jackass in just one moment, but first to your comments. Strawberry Atheist writes, send in an old lady, this is in regards to Lindsay Hilson versus Tommy Robinson, to tackle a violent thug is kinda oxymoronic. They obviously don't believe he is a thug. Range Rover 63 said, I never watched Channel 4. It really is a shit show. It's just about Palestine. Ice Kitty 400 said, Ben Habib and Rupert Lowe is what we need for the UK, not weak sauce Farage. Dottie C said the Met Police have dropped investigating non-hate crime incidents. Another win for free speech. That's happened since we've been on air today. And Sophie Ray 536 said, Dr. Hillary should not be giving advice on paper cuts, let alone serious medical issues. Oh my God. That's made me chuckle, Sophie. Amazing feedback today. Thank you so much. Here's a reminder of your Union Jackass nominees. Sarah, the former Duchess of York, nominated by Lee Cohen, who describes her as a royal disaster. Marina Perkins, nominated by Mad Dog Photo for what appears to be a fake story pretending to be true about a brown-skinned person who helped pick up her son. And the aforementioned Lindsay Hilson of Channel 4 News, nominated by Tracy525, who says the Channel 4 reporter who tried to ambush Tommy Robinson on Saturday in Israel. And my goodness, it was an ambush, wasn't it? But it was an ambush that didn't succeed because, of course, Tommy Robinson just came for her. Okay, the results are in. Let's get to them. In third position with 20% of the vote, Marina Perkis. The runner-up with 29% of the vote, Lindsay Hilson. But today's Union Jackass with 51% of the vote, she's no longer a Duchess, plain old Sarah Ferguson. And today's greatest Britain, one of the friends of this show, Connor Tomlinson, nominated by Darren Donaldson for exposing the cover-up of an immigration debate by Michael Gove and The Spectator. And the great news is that Connor Tomlinson will be back on the show later this week, and he'll reveal the truth about what really happened in that shocking, shocking cover-up, which I've commented on over the weekend on X. Thank you so much for watching Dan Wootton Outspoken. Please click on my face just to the bottom left to subscribe to this brand new independent news source and turn on the notification bell so you'll be alerted to our brand new live shows, uncancelled interviews, and special royal episodes. Outspoken is also now available as a podcast, so you can listen to the show every weekday on the go, wherever you are.